Thank you very much, Honourable Minister, Representative of the new High Commissioner, Dr. Mohan, other distinguished members of academia, and most important, members of the community. I'm pleased to be here this morning to at least participate in the initial phase of this symposium. And I'm very pleased by the attendance as represented by the folks here. One of the very important activities of UTT, which in a way makes us a little bit different from other universities, is that we regard ourselves as a university of the communities. We have campuses in about 10 different parts of Trinidad and Tobago, and we make use of that in a very special way because part of our program, in fact we have a whole department dedicated to that, is to reach out to all of these communities. That is to our benefit, of course. We learn from these communities what's going on. We pick up from them ideas in culture, in history, in art. And on the other hand, we hope it's a two-way street where we can bring what we have from an academic community to these communities. So we have, in fact, within UTT, a division that is dedicated to community outreach. And this is one event that represents that. We've moved away from the concept of the university, to use the word, as an ivory tower, where you have a community of scholars who do good work, they teach, they research, but they tend to be very inward-looking. In other words, they depend on their interface among themselves to determine what is best, both for their research and their teaching. UTT wishes to be different. We very much want to have continuing contact with communities. And we have posed to do that in a way much better than UTT, than UE. I'm not critical of UE, I spent 35 years there. But UE is a single campus university, which has its merits. UTT, on the other hand, has presences, including this one, in this area, in about 10 different parts of the country. And we want to make use of that. We don't want that to be regarded as a disadvantage. We want to make use of that because that allows us to interface with the communities in those areas and indeed, if anything, expand our presences throughout the country. We see that as a real advantage we have because by so doing you get a two-way street. One, we can bring to the communities what we offer, whether it's in the process of encouraging students to come to university at UTT. Two, we can share what we have, whether it's in the arts, performances. Last night, for example, well, not last night, this whole week, UTT has had a series of events in the performing arts running as part of what we call Upper Fest, where our students and professors in music, theater, dance, for the past few days have been running programs for both entertainment and education at Upper, and it continues during this coming week. So to not some extent, very much part of our mandate is to not remain in an ivory tower, telling each other how wonderful we are and doing our own research and our own teaching, but instead to reach out to the communities and to give substance or evidence of that, we do have a division set up called the Community Outreach Division. And the intention behind that group is exactly what you see here today, where we have a machinery and a mechanism for reaching out to communities to mutual benefit. There's a lot we as a community of scholars can learn from the communities around us. And today is one good example. Up until this was brought to my attention that Julien and his friends were proposing a seminar on Moringa, I didn't know the word. So having been told that, I was able to research it and now discover how important that particular plant is. And that is what the university is all about, not just teaching, which is part of our main function, research, an important part of our function, but UTT views itself as a community, as a university for the community, which has a two-way street. We bring what we have as a community of scholars to several communities, but on the other hand, and just as important, we learn from the communities in all areas, in art, in medicine, in language. There are several things that Trinidad and Tobago has hidden, as it were, or belonging just to very limited communities. We want to expand this. There's a richness in this country that we've not really fully explored. Whether it's in performance, whether it's in medicine, whether it's in history, these are things that belong to the country and should not be restricted to any particular community. So part of the UTT mandate is to reach out and by so doing benefit, not just for the university itself, for the overall community. So this event today is one example of this. The symposium, which continues, I think, for the rest of the day, treats with Moringa. Whatever that means at this stage, I didn't know, but I've still discovered a lot how important it is to certain communities. It's a very important plant and tree and what it can do and what it can't do. And that is, to a large extent, what we're about. So in welcoming you here, this is really the pioneering event. We want, as a UTT, to reach out more and more to the communities throughout the whole country. Because by so doing, we benefit. We benefit from learning. We benefit from getting ideas that help our professors to pursue research that is relevant to the development of the country. UTT is not just another university where professors and scholars get together and they determine what they should research, what they should teach. We want to be different. We want to hear from the communities what is important to them so that we can focus our research efforts, we can focus our teaching, we can focus our innovation efforts that benefits the community and by so doing benefit the whole country of Trinidad and Tobago. So today's symposium is just one example of this, where the word Moringa will now become an important word in the country, certainly within the university, and it will, that's the start of it. So the research that now has to go on, the introduction of this word to our teaching becomes a very important part. So I'm very pleased to be here this morning. I'm very pleased by the turnout, obviously with great interest in UTT, in Moringa, as it were, and we welcome that. The university, at least the University of Trinidad and Tobago, belongs to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. You pay our salaries, you pay for all our research, you pay for all our efforts. So we belong to you, and therefore it is important that we find opportunities where we can justify to you our existence. If we're just a university living in what is called an ivory tower, doing our own thing, writing our own papers that may have no relevance to the country, teaching subjects that are not relevant to the to our graduates being prepared for the workplace, for our graduates being prepared to contribute and participate in development of the country, then it will be very difficult to justify our existence. UTE wants to be the leader in saying to the communities such as yours that you pay our salaries, you pay all our research efforts, you really are our clients, and therefore we have to treat our effort, we have to dedicate our resources, whether it's in education, whether it's in research, whether it's in reaching out to the communities, we have to treat it as one simple mandate. One, that we belong to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Two, that it is through your effort, through your taxpayers' money, as it were, that we exist. If we forget that and go off into some other world where we dedicate all our research to space, treating with space, or trying to get somebody to land on the moon, then of course we would have defeated that purpose. So I want to assure everyone here that UTT, as the name implies, is the University of Trinidad and Tobago. And our mandate is very simple. All that we do in teaching, in research, in reaching out to the communities has a very simple objective: to participate in contributing in a way that the university can do. We are a community of scholars, very bright people, people who are full-time either in research or in teaching. And our mandate is to use those resources for which you pay to ensure that we take the next several steps towards making our country a model in both social and economic activity. Thank you for being here this morning, and we look forward to continued contact.